Hello everybody, this is Serpent, and welcome back to another episode in modded Let's Play thingy. And this is not at all what I expected to see here when I logged on. See, after last episode, I spent a little bit of time, I dug this hole, and I worked on a six-directional engine for our Skyship, and I finished making most of it, and then the game, when I logged out, the game crashed, and now this is what we have left. This was a preliminary design that doesn't work in the slightest, so that's a little bit of a blow. However, I definitely remember what the design was, and I was just about to tear it all down again and rebuild it, but right this time. The only problem, really, in fact, is that though my inventory was saved, I don't have any food left, in other words, my character data was saved, the game data was not, so I've lost a whole bunch of building parts, which is annoying. So I'm going to have to smelt down some more nickel and iron into Invar. Oh, at least okay. So this is of course unsmelted. But yeah, I had a bunch of them, and then I placed them, and now they're gone, but their materials are back in the chest. Okay. I'm not as annoyed as I would have been. Anyway, I was going to tear it all down and remake it, but better and working, functional. So it's not too much of a blow that I have to rebuild it. I just hope I didn't lose anything valuable. I also upgraded my backpack. Okay, so this is the this is the thing right here. So it's got a central core and various pullers around it. Whenever one of these pullers activates, if I've set it up correctly, which I think I have over here, whenever one of these pullers activates, it tugs the core over to the edge, which pulls this over to here into contact with the outer framework, and powers this simultaneously. So this pulls that over there, that goes to there, and then that pushes that one block over this way, and it resumes this state. So hopefully that works. I'm just about to give that a little power, and if we flick this lever, huh. Okay, so it didn't like that. Now, why did it not like that? Oh, okay. So this is trying to push that over, and none of that's in conflict. No. Alright, I have one of these. Oh. Ah! That's good. I forgot I did that. I built this one block too low, so it was scraping the ground. Now that's very encouraging. No? I see. So then what if I get rid of this? That still doesn't work. No. Oh, what did I do? Come on, push the right direction. Why will it not push the right direction? Okay. This seems to be slightly flawed. Oh, there we got it. Now, why would it not like that? Hold on. Give me a second. Huh. Okay, I don't understand what this is doing. See, if I remove a couple blocks off the end here. Oh, now it's 0 RF. Okay, and I understand that. But see, it works fine there. Now, if I add a couple blocks onto the end of this line, like that. Okay, it still works. But there's a limit somewhere along here. Say like that. Yeah, doesn't work anymore. I don't get it. If we remove a block, yeah, if we remove a block, nothing, huh? Oh, maybe. Oh, okay, so the amount of energy it takes to do this stuff depends on how many blocks you're moving. I see. Okay. So I want I want to move something pretty large, right? I want to move a giant spaceship. And I'm pretty sure it's 250 RF per block, because that's what it said in the config file, except I didn't think it was per block back then. So if I want to move something with, say, 1,000 blocks in it, then that's going to be 250 times 1,000, which is 250,000 RF. Now I'm fine with using that much energy, but I don't know how much these things can hold. It doesn't say on them. So I guess the obvious thing to do is to fill it completely up. 256,000. All right. So that's I'm pretty sure that makes it to 1,024 blocks moved. So that works. It's a lot of energy, but yeah, that works. I'm going to want to move more blocks than that, though. So maybe if I increase the amount movable in the config file, maybe that will increase the amount stored in one of these pushers. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, for now I'll just charge them up so that we can so that I can figure out how to build this thing. Come on. All right, so I've done a little bit of repair work after my testing, my destructive bout of testing, and hopefully when we click this thing, it'll work. It didn't. All right, I guess my next response to that is stuff more energy in the green thing. I thought I put enough in, but maybe not. Alright. There we go. Okay, maybe now. Yes. Okay, so let's put that back. It takes about 10,000. Alright, that's fine. Now, let's try it again. Yes. Alright, that worked brilliantly. Now I can do basically the same thing here. And like this. Give it some power. Is this one all good? Yeah. Let's up this a little bit. Okay, that'll be fine. So now we can also push this one. Yes. I need to make this platform bigger. And we should also do one for the bottom. Well, all sides, obviously. Ooh, I'm out of pushers. Never mind, not the bottom just yet. I need more invar, and I'm out of iron. So, I don't know where I could possibly get any iron at all, but apparently I need to find some. I just pressed some random button to record. Anyway, that's not important. We're down in the mines now because I need some more diamonds. So satisfying. Ooh, nickel ore. I actually need that. But yeah, we need diamonds because this stuff takes diamonds. And unfortunately, I am fresh out for the first time this series, really. And not anymore. Nice. I did not expect it to be that quick. Whoa. Is that a diamond bee? Did I blow up a diamond bee thingy? I don't want to blow it up if it exists and it's going to get me diamonds. But it seems like it's coming from this area. Ow. Ooh, curious hive, huh? Seems awfully diamondy. Alright, well, I'm going to mark this thing on my location. Diamond hive, maybe? I'm going to make some assumptions there. And in the meantime, I need this stuff. So gimme. Aha! After a brief but lucrative adventure, we are back. I do not want to toss rutile ore into the smeltery. Yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff from that. And the nickel ore I'm actually going to save. I'm not going to smelt it all down just yet, because we can get platinum from that, which is useful, even if we aren't using it in Enderium, I think. Hopefully. At the very least, though, we've got a lot of other stuff and enough diamonds to keep going. So, I'll head back over there once this stuff's at least into the smeltery and not on the ground in item form waiting to despawn, and we can get on with it. Alright, so that engine should work just as long as we power it, which brings us to powering it. Now, I don't have enough cable at the moment, but I think it shouldn't be too much of a problem to do this. So if we run a cable from here, we can just go straight across the stuff like that, and we can do that on basically all of these. But at some point we have to connect it to not this face. So that also isn't too difficult, I don't think. I can put one there like that, and now they're connected, and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and put this together. My only concern really is that it's going to be really ugly. So we'll probably end up just redoing it, trying to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more neat and tidy. And then basically it'll be done and we'll have a core for our ship. An engine, if you will. Okay, I believe everything is powered now. So if we put an energy cell in the central location or somewhere, then it should be able to do what we want, really. So let's try and we need a frame for that. Let's try and put this thing here. Alright, and now let's try and move up. Oh yeah. Let's go over this way. Oh, doesn't have enough power, maybe. Yeah. And back again. Ah, see, it's charging right now. And when it reaches enough power, then it should keep just move it over, I think. Unless there's an obstruction, in which case, my bad. But it should move over, and then once we ramp up the power output on this a little bit, and update the cables a little and stuff like that, basically improve the power so that it fills stuff essentially instantly, then it should work. Oh. Huh. Well, it should have done that on its own, I would have thought. Apparently I would have thought wrong, but it should have. So I was testing this just a little earlier with a frame slider, and if you give it no power and then just give it a constant redstone signal, as soon as it gets enough power, it starts up. I don't have any power to demonstrate this with, but I did test that. So it should have just gone when it was ready. Maybe I clicked it at exactly the right time. That would have been interesting. Ah, so it just said right there that there was a problem. Also, there is another problem in that this thing isn't connected to the main system. Nor does it have power. Well done, me. Okay, so that works out pretty nicely. But we're not done. We still need to make a control center for this. So I'm going to make it out of something. Probably, oh, I don't know. Actually, let's just go with this for the moment. I don't want to overcomplicate things. So I should be able to wireless transmit and receive with this thing. So let's try and put one of these down. Never really used one of these before. I'll give it frequency 10. No thanks. Just simple is fine with me. Frequency 10. And frequency 10 will move us up. So let's go over here and just simply do that. Now I think that's facing the wrong way. And I can't reorient it. Yeah, that works. Okay, and then frequency 10. So hopefully when we give this thing up here power, the one down there will also trigger. I don't think it noticed that. Maybe it needs some of the wiring from the mod. Nope. No, what's your problem? Ah. That's what its problem was. I was trying to send stuff with the receiver. So that kind of makes sense there. All right, placed that wrong. Let's try again. Good. Okay, so we should be able to just click on that one. And up here, get rid of that, replace it with that, set it to up as well. Yeah. Huh. It's disappeared. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's up here. I got it to move. So yeah, a lot has happened since the last clip. This is not even the same day. But yeah, I got it working, and I took a picture of it first coming out of its hangar, and then a second picture of the second time it came out of the hangar after it crashed and reverted to back down in the middle of the hole, and then a third time. And then after the fourth crash, somehow it managed to just completely erase itself from existence. So I took that opportunity to rebuild it. So now it's slightly smaller and we have a slightly different design. But yeah, I've been having a lot of crashes. And apparently it was down to that nasty little thermal expansion energy cell that nobody likes anyway. Of course, without that, there's no real way powering the thing, but, you know, it's a trade-off. Anyway, so yeah, this is a smaller design. It's not the same one as left, and I've got I've also got different receivers and transmitters because I think those were also causing crashes. So I'm using the RF Tools ones now. They don't look as cool, but they don't crash as much either. So it's another trade-off. And I've also been using a timer here. See, if I place that down, ta-da! It moves without me doing anything. I'm putting it on autopilot, which is important, because I don't want to push the button there every single time I move a block. And as you can see there, I was, up until the point where I completely ran out of frames, also trying to build a little bit of a room. Oh. Boing. So yeah, things are coming along fairly well. I did have some setbacks with those crashes, but now I'm making backups every 30 seconds, so hopefully we won't have any more problems with that. I did actually have a backup. It was actually pretty much when the last clip was taken, and I just decided that I don't really want to bother. I don't really want to bother with that. In fact, I'd rather just rebuild it and make it better in the process. Also, what is the second timer doing here? What? I am confused. I only made one timer. They take gold. So I didn't want to make a second one. So why do I have this thing? Huh. Grumble, grumble. Quit cheating. Anyway, yeah, we have this built now. It's functioning. So I'll just walk you through the design a little bit, just as soon as the time is no longer nighttime. Actually, in second thought, it would take too long to go down there. So instead, I just place some torches. But anyway, the general idea is that when you push one of these buttons, this transceiver or transmitter. What's a transceiver? Where have I seen that word? Never mind. It's not important. The transmitter, say this one, activates, and in this case, the one up there, ID 10, activates this redstone receiver down here, and this one activates the frame pusher, or in this case, the frame puller. And the frame puller pulls the core, which is this part, over to here. Now, there are two main parts to this whole design. There's the core, which is the center bit in the core, and there's also the outer cage. And when the core is moved over to any specific face of the cage, a corresponding frame pusher, one of these things, is stuffed under a redstone block, while simultaneously... Ow! That actually hurt. What a meanie. Anyway, while simultaneously being stuffed up against the outer frame, the cage. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Okay. Yeah. While simultaneously being pressed up against the cage. So the redstone block triggers it. It pushes the cage over this way, and the result is the entire thing having moved over one block that way. Since the cage moved over and then since the core moved over and then moved the cage over. You can't do it all in one piece, because that would be that would be a closed circuit, and you can't influence things that way. See, that would be like having a piston here connected with slime blocks so that it was pushing a slime block here that way. Doesn't work. But anyway, we've basically set this stuff up, so I'll be making some periodic backups quite frequently from now on, because this seems slightly unstable, but it's such a cool idea that I want to carry it through at least partially, which means I'll just deal with backups. So another quick thing, these frame pushers and pullers are now reduced in energy cost to 10 RF per block, and that might not seem like a lot, and in fact it isn't that much, but only if you're building something small. See, what I want to build will be at least 1,000 blocks in total, and even with this stripped down energy cost, that still ends up being 1 million RF per 100 blocks traveled, and 100 blocks is not an awful lot, so I think that's a fairly decent price. Obviously, giant skyships should be slightly energy consuming. They should have a high energy consumption rate. However, I think... Oh, it's pyro. I think what it was at for what I want to do with it was a little bit extreme. So I've lowered the price a little, and now it seems fairly reasonable. But that said, I think it's probably about time to end the episode. Oh, yeah, I'm running out of time. It's been a little bit of a hectic week, so I'm going to end it off here, and I shall, well, hope you enjoyed the episode, but also see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.